Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. So today I plan on showing you guys how we painted our cabinets. This was our DIY project that me and Kevin decided to do together and paint our cabinets. As you can see, they are white up top and brown down below. So brown was the original color that the cabinets were when we bought our home, and we wanted to liven it up, so we chose to paint them white. And as you can see, we haven't finished. So today we are going to finish painting our cabinets, and I'm going to show you guys step by step how we did that process, things we learned along the way, sharing our experience, and hopefully you guys will take some tips and tricks to see exactly, what your next DIY project will be. But yeah, so I'm totally excited to finish them because then we plan on putting handles, because we need handles on them as well. So that's the next thing, or the next video, shall I say, that we'll record doing, to say the least. But yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to show you guys the prep that I do to pretty much get us started in regards to painting our cabinets. So the first thing that you want to do is go get you something to protect your floors. So in this case, we went to Dollar Tree, grabbed some tablecloths and put them down. And then you're going to get hot water, soap, and a rag. Now, I'm only doing that prep for these cabinets because these cabinets are brand new and they don't have any real dirt, grime, grease, all that kind of stuff on them. Everyone's house is completely different, so you may want to consider those variables whenever you decide to paint your cabinets. If they're older or newer, you may have to sand them down, you may have to get a degreaser, but that's not what we have to do in this case. So I literally am going to do soap, water, and a rag. I'm just going to simply wipe them down with a rag and try to remove any residue of any kind on the cabinets. And once I'm done cleaning them thoroughly, I will let them dry, and then we're going to prime them. In this case, for these cabinets, we will be priming them since they are of darker color and we're trying to go lighter. We have to prime them. So I'm going to show you guys the next. So now it's time to prime these cabinets since they are of darker color. So the primer that I'm using is the Valspar Stain Blocking Bonding Primer and Sealer. I don't have the exact price of it, but I can find out and definitely link it in the description so that way you guys know exactly how much this DIY project is gonna cost you. I'm pretty sure everything was under $100 for sure to paint our cabinets. And then you can use a roller if you choose to, depending on the surface area of the cabinet that you're using. You may want to use a roller, you may want to use a brush, but I have brush currently in a bowl, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so again, you're just gonna tap off the excess and you're going to paint. This does not have to be any particular way, just because this is literally the primer. That's literally it. This is not the actual white paint. This is gonna help you get to white. So that's why it's really important to prime your cabinets. And listen, you're gonna do things the way that you see fit and use a technique that you see fit. But as you can see, it's already coming out really white. Now, the first time me and Kevin painted, we took them off the hinges, okay? We're not taking these bottoms off the hinges. And see, that's exactly why you want something on the floor to protect your floor, because of essentially paint dripping, right? But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just finish off priming and do the rest of these cabinets, and time, Kevin is finishing the priming that is done, or remaining, shall I say, on these cabinets over here. And then we're gonna start painting. You gonna say hello?
We should have took these off like we did the first time.
That's what I was gonna ask you. So okay, like I told you guys earlier, the first time we painted, we actually took off the hinges. Like, we literally took off the hinges, laid them on the floor on a surface, primed them, and then paint them. And now we're doing the bottom half a little bit different. We're not taking them off the hinges. And for me, when I was doing it, my back was hurting. I mean, clearly. So, and I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about the experience so far? And
luckily we ain't got that many. You did a majority of that side. My damn back hurting right now.
Right. So
I should have used a bigger brush.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Because what I noticed is that with it being on the hinges, it doesn't allow us the ability to really just like stand up and paint or roll or whatever like that. You're only confined to sitting down or on your knees trying to paint it or trying to roll it. So it truly is trial and error, but that is one thing that I will share with you guys, that keep those things in mind. If you choose to take it off the hinges, just know that you have a little bit more flexibility, but you also have to put them back on successfully. So when we did take them off the hinges, I made sure that I numbered each one and how many nails went according to that cabinet, I guess you would say. But another thing that you have to keep in mind too is when you take them off the hinges, we decided to paint the inside of them, and we did not do that for the bottom of our cabinets. So if I show you the inside of this, we still have to, I don't know if they can see it that well. We still have to finish painting the inside of them. We primed the inside, but we still have to actually like paint the inside of the cabinet. Kevin's saying he want to leave it, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, realistically, we'll probably paint it. But the bottom half of these cabinets are not getting painted on the inside. So that's the one thing that we did learn with our first time painting the top, is we took them off the hinges, we primed the outside and the inside and painted the outside, but we have not finished painting the inside. But the bottom half, we chose to leave them on the hinges, prime them, paint them, but we did not paint the inside. I would say that is less work to say, but you do have to be very particular about how you paint this. So you want to make sure that you don't go too far in, because if you don't plan on painting this, then you want to go like right here, to say the least, which is what Kevin's doing right now. And then this time we didn't take any of the things out of the cabinets. Like, we still left everything pretty much in there. You see that paint in your head, babe. But yeah, so, and then the primer dries fairly fast. So all you really have to do is, once you prime it, it probably would have been faster, but you got to keep in mind those drips too when you are painting, because I had to like make sure I didn't, like, you really tap off the excess when you are painting this way in particular. But I'm more so ready for this to be done, I can tell you that. Like I told. But yeah, so I was telling Kevin when we were on the way to get food, like, I'm definitely glad that we did the top half when I was not as pregnant, because now I am very winded. I'm sure you guys heard the wind in my voice as I was talking in the first video, or just the introduction, or just shit now. But I'm very winded, and then just being in the position for an extended period of time, about to take me out, child. Right. Being in that position for an extended period of time, like sitting crouched over, you know, it's uncomfortable, obviously. So you don't want to stay in that position for too long, to say the least. But I'm happy that we're almost done, and realistically, Kevin is almost done with these last little bits, so we can just start painting, and then we'll be installing our handles, because I love these cabinets. I love how many cabinets I have. However, it's a task trying to open it constantly from the top or from the bottom. Or if you're thinking about it, you're thinking about when you're cooking. I'll say when I'm cooking, I'm always thinking about, oh, I don't want my dirty hands to touch the, the cabinets. I need a handle. So I'm really looking forward to putting on these handles so that way this white can be preserved as best as possible. But they did say when you do paint your cabinets, you are gonna have to touch up here and there depending on the paint color that you do, and I don't see that being a problem. Babe, how much would you say we spent on all of the supplies for painting?
I don't even know, honestly. It's been so. We bought the paint and we had it for a while.
We did.
I don't remember how long.
We had the paint for a while. So we literally said these are the projects that we wanted to do in our house, and we knew the kitchen was one of them that we wanted to finish. And we went ahead and bought the paint and everything like that. But it sat in the garage for the longest, and I was just like, we need to finish this or get this started, shall I say. And we picked a weekend, or it was a day after. It was a day after you got out of work or something, and we just got started. And it's been the highlight, I can say, of our house so far. Like, Kevin, he don't really care to do DIYs like that. He'll, of course, do them.
I'll pay somebody to do this shit.
He don't care to do it like that, but I am grateful that you'll do the projects with me, for sure. But for me, it's like, I don't want to pay someone to do something that I can do. Kevin. So I'd rather learn, and that's exactly what I did. I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos,
Well, you do save a lot of money, though.
And you save a lot of money, realistically, because if we would have charged or paid someone to paint these cabinets for us, I mean, you got some people who would charge you maybe $400 to $500 to $800, just depending. I mean, that's a lot of money when realistically all of the supplies that we got are literally just paintbrushes, the primer, the paint, and the rollers. That's literally it. And like I told you, we got the stuff to cover the floor from the dollar store, and that's only $1. So realistically, I feel like everything was at least under $100. That's what I said. You believe it was? I believe it was less than $100.
With the paint included?
Yeah. The paint wasn't that much, babe. We only needed one can. We needed one can of primer and one can of paint. And that's literally, we still have so much primer left, and we still have so much paint left to finish these bottom half. We've only used one can. You got another can I don't know about?
Oh, I'm thinking about the paint that we used for the walls. That was.
Oh no, yeah. Now when we painted,
that small can, though, that
yeah, that's small. It wasn't a big can. Well, I mean, it was the same size as the primer. But when we painted our home with rollers, and we painted our living room, we painted our kitchen, we painted the dining room. We actually bought a 5-gallon bucket. I think it was a 5-gallon bucket, and that was a little bit more cost. That was over $100 for sure. But doing just the regular can of paint for our kitchen for sure was under $100 with all the supplies. But I told Kevin the other rooms in the house need to get painted.
They don't need to get painted. You want to paint.
They're gonna get painted, and we said we want to explore the option of what is it called?
A sprayer.
A sprayer, and I've priced them out, and I've watched a few videos, and I'm ready to do it. So that'll be the next thing
ready for me to do something else to do.
He don't do these projects by himself. I painted all of these, if that's the case.
All of what?
All of these cabinets over here, I already primed
I
them.
appreciate you priming them motherfuckers. They gotta be painted, huh?
Right, but okay, come on now. He ain't got no lazy wife. That's one thing. Pregnant and all. I will get down and paint or put something together. Like, that's one thing. No, but I mean, it is. Whenever he hear a project, he do hear, oh shit, I got to do something too, because it's not just gonna be me by myself doing it. I would rather us do it together because it's an experience for us both. But look at him. Oh, your face! I can't.
Experience. Goddamn work after work. That's what it is.
Yeah, he definitely went to work today and still.
Nah, it ain't that bad. I'm talking shit, but it really ain't that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. But
That's
honestly,
how they turned out. I think the top down.
Right, they look really good. And then like it's our kitchen looks so much more brighter. It's so much more vibrant. And I'm sure if you guys look back to our old videos when I was cooking in the kitchen, you saw our brown cabinets, and I'm looking forward to making more videos now in this kitchen with our lighter cabinets and all the other things that I plan to do, or DIY projects I plan to do in the house, just to make it as home, as more like, you know, more of our own and more homey, and, you know, just put our own customized spin on it, I guess you would say.
Everybody be, we ain't gonna be here for forever.
Right, we already said this.
Too much.
Right, I for sure said the next home, I ain't doing shit. I know he said he ain't doing nothing.
Damn sure not.
I would definitely, well, the next home I want it to be more customized. So realistically, like, I would want to be able to talk about like how I want my cabinets, or like the architecture of my home would be completely different. Like we've always said, this is our first home, this is our first investment. Really fortunate to be able to do our first investment literally under 30 years old. In a home for Cairo and our next son to grow up in. But I'm definitely looking forward to our next home to be more customized, bigger, and, you know, forever home pretty much, realistically. But yeah, so we're gonna finish up priming, and then we're gonna go on to painting, and then we'll show you guys the finished product. Any other tips that you would give them, babe? Or like in regards to the DIY project? I'm just trying to think. In regards to priming, like there's really no method in regards to priming. You like,
I mean,
what would you say?
I'm pretty sure it is a method. Like you can go on YouTube and find everything. We go on
Yeah,
YouTube.
we're
and
no
look up
pros.
shit before we do it.
We are no pros. I can tell you that.
So,
I will watch a video in a heartbeat on how to do something.
The videos on YouTube, it'll give you that
that guide for sure.
Guide, and once you see, you're like, oh yeah, I could definitely do that shit myself versus paying somebody.
Right. But I know with priming they did say like tap off, don't use too much, because it's really not the paint. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. It's just like, it's just taking up the color, you know, just lightening up the color that you want it to be, essentially. That's just like when you get your hair dyed. If your roots are brown, and you want to go blonde, or if you want to go red, they're going to have to lighten your roots in order for you to get the color that you want. But yeah, so, babe, you need to put your dreads up. Like, you're finna have paint all in your hair.
Yeah, let me get another haircut.
Yeah, you got paint all in here. So now it is time to paint. So I'm going to show you guys the paint that we are using. Oh, Jesus, I just realized. It is Valspar, if you can make that out clearly. Right, but it says cabinet and furniture paint. Now this one is, what is this? It tells you specifically no sanding or priming needed, soap and water cleanup. What is this? It's definitely white, and I feel like this is like the glossy finish. The glossy finish is what this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. Kevin is finishing up the remaining priming that's due, that needs to be done. So what I want to show you guys as well is you got to get down there. Like, you can't forget that down there as well. So we have it taped off, and he is painting down there as well. So everything in the kitchen will be completely white, as it should be. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have my paintbrush, I have my tray, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so Babe is finishing up the cabinets. He is doing currently a second coat. How you feeling?
Ready to get this shit done.
Yes, indeed. So I showed you guys Kevin finishing up. So we did one coat on the cabinets, currently painting wise, right? And we're gonna do a second coat of paint. So we did 2 coats for the top cabinets as well, and we're gonna go ahead and do 2 coats for the bottom just to make sure that it's completely even, completely smooth. I don't know, I wouldn't do this again. Kevin, would you do this again?
Talking about what we do it again. You just trying to argue me down, trying to make me paint Cairo shit and all shit. Talking about do it again.
Well, I mean, I would use a sprayer next time around. And then realistically, this method of us leaving them on the hinges was more time consuming.
I would not recommend doing that.
Yeah,
So
it was more
take them off.
time
You gonna
consuming.
paint your own shit, take them cabinets off.
Take them off. Because you also risk them dripping.
Close the doors, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, we'll take the doors off, but like you risk them dripping. The paint isn't completely as smooth in comparison to it being on a completely flat surface. Yes, it's on a flat surface because it's standing up, but in comparison to laying flat, the paint has to stay exactly how it was just rolled or how it was just painted. In comparison to it being on the hinges, it has the ability to, you know, roll down, or, you know, the paint may just move essentially, or it may shift. So I would not recommend you painting them with the doors on the hinges. I would suggest taking them off the hinges so that way you do not have to worry about pretty much what we just described. So as much as the top took time to do, I feel like the finished product to me was better. And then it wasn't as back-breaking. That's for sure. Because you see I'm in a rolling chair. I mean, like, I had to get in a rolling chair just to finish painting. But I'm letting Kevin do the second round of paint just because Mama is tired. But yeah, so once it is completely dry and finished, we will, you know, show the finished photo, I guess you would say, of how it looks. And then our handles are supposed to be, ooh, look what you did. Always have a rag handy, because if something gets on the floor, you need to clean it up as fast as you can, with just a little bit of water. But yeah, that's why it's really important. And then also the very bottom still has to be painted, but we're not painting it today. Kevin said he will paint it tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna let Kevin do that tomorrow morning. Anything else you want to say before the finished product, or any tips that you would like to give the audience in regards to our DIY painting?
Oh, I need to wipe that pen at the bottom. What side of
The bottom of what?
side of the dishwasher.
Where'd you do that?
Start early in the day.
Oh yeah, I mean, oh, and people probably want to know how long this took us.
Shit, I don't know.
So because we broke it up, obviously it took longer in time, but in regards to priming and painting and taking breaks in between, I started priming a little before 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna say 2 o'clock. I would say I did 4 cabinets within an hour. I would say about an hour and a half. I did 4 cabinets by myself, priming them by myself within an hour. Now, once Kevin got off work, he finished the remaining 2, or did we go get food?
We went and
We got food. So we came back, we ate, relaxed, got started. I would say, and then it's what? 8:36 now. So realistically, maybe 4 hours, I would say. Did you say 4 hours? With breaks in between. If you're non-stop like working and not moving around, I feel like you can get this done with 4 hours. And we got a huge fan that was blowing while we primed, so that way they can dry. Yeah, it's a little box fan, by the way, just a little box fan, so that way it can help this dry faster, so we can get it done faster. But yeah, so hopefully once everything is done, we can definitely show you the finished product, and yeah, take it off the hinges next time, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, we thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed this DIY semi-tutorial in regards to us finishing up our bottom half of our cabinets, telling you what we did. You said what? I'm sorry. Clearly, it's time to wrap it up. He done got paint on the cutting board inside the dishwasher. How you do that? How you do that?
Shit happens when this motherfucker working hard.
Working hard or hardly working?
Please.
Says the girl in the chair.
I don't work 12 hours a day.
Okay. But yeah, so again, thank you guys so much for watching. We really hope you guys enjoyed this video of, again, our DIY painting our cabinets. I look forward to showing you guys the finished product, and most importantly, you know, when we do install our handles, which should be coming in, I think, on Monday, us putting those on and just showing you guys how our little kitchen is coming together slowly but surely. But yeah, definitely don't feel like you have to get your home together like immediately, or, you know, all at once. Like, take your time. Like, we rocked out with these cabinets painted at the top for a little while. I feel like we even had a gathering. What was it? My family came in town, and we literally had the top painted when they came down, and they thought it was actually really cute, the two-tone. And I'm like, no, we're painting the top and the bottom so it can be, you know, the same color. But yeah, so don't ever feel like you have to rush and get your whole house together. Take your time. You live there, right? So, you know,
get some people coming over to your house.
Right, it's definitely your home. They're just in it, essentially. So, but yeah, thank you again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If we missed anything that you want to know more about, or that we did not touch on or answer, please feel free to drop a comment so that way we can go ahead and answer that. All right, bye.